Greetings, everyone. Welcome to another Friday afternoon chat Gauntlet event here on Going Optimal. The new tradition around these parts, starting Friday mornings next week. This is the last Friday afternoon time slot that we're going to be doing this in, and that's from my perspective, of course, the Pacific time zone. But this is the event in which I battle my viewers, sometimes an opposing streamer as well. Today it's just viewers, I believe. Well, actually, we've got, don't we have we have one fellow streamer in the queue, but I don't know if he's streaming or not. Nicole, right? We'll see if Bolas is streaming or not. But regardless, I'm streaming it, and I'm going to stream my side of it. All right, on. Should we share those? Let's share that link if we have it. Bolas. It hasn't been 4 months, and I don't know, new relative to the length of my stream, I suppose, Nan. In any case, I'm yammering and not playing and not getting us to playing. Let's get to playing. I do want to recap what we're up to, though. This is an unusual event. It's because we're not using the queues offered to us by Magic the Gathering Arena. We're actually going to use a third-party website called mtgadraft.herokuapp.com. We'll link that in the course of the show notes and, of course, in the comments right there. Hat's brought that up. It's a third-party website where we draft offline. We export our decks back into Arena. Then we use the buddy challenge system, the friend challenge system, to play out our games on Arena. And we do it slightly weird here to have a fun best of 7. Thank you, Motor City Mama, gifting that sub to Nicole Bolas, who is our streamer competitor this week. Anyway, what we do a best of 1, and that allows me to play all 7 people I draft with. It's fun to get that variety, fun to give everybody who took the time out to help me do this event play on stream with me. So, and it creates a nice best of 7. We get to see whether chat or me can get to 4 wins first and kind of win the week. I'm on a 3-week losing streak after I think I started on a 3 or 4 week winning streak. So I think I started at 3-0 or 4-0 or something like that against chat. But man, chat has been hammering me the past 3 weeks and have brought themselves back to respectability, made the lifetime win-loss record a lot more respectable, and certainly the lifetime event win-loss is now pulled near even. So I'm hoping to break off a bad streak this week. We've had a kind of bad luck on stream this week in general. I've had bad runs against chat the last 3 weeks. Really hoping to turn it around here. And because if I don't, and it goes horribly awry, and I do somehow lose 7 times, which can absolutely happen and will happen sometime, I have given up my hair above the neck to chat to decide what to do with. So love to get that first win in and save my hair for the week. And boy, if I ever lose 7, it's where I just have to trust that my chat is the best and that they're going to do something funny and awesome, and we'll have fun with it. But my plan is to keep this head of hair. So let's try. I think we're all ready. I'm going to hop over to my other monitor view, and we're going to get going. But of course, before we do, not the best transition you've ever heard on this stream, but I'm not going to transition over to that screen without telling you about my sponsor, CardKingdom.com. They are purveyors of all the physical magic stuff your heart could possibly desire. If they're missing anything that your heart desires, you will expect them to get it back in store soon. And also you can actually do, I've talked about this before, you can, if for some reason there's some very specific version of some very specific card that you really want, if you don't find it at Card Kingdom, you can put in a request to have them let you know when they do acquire it, because they get new stock all the time, especially the stuff they're missing. They want to have everything. So when they don't, you know they're looking for it. So even if they don't have it when you go there, be sure to put in a request for it to let you know when they get it in stock, and then you can jump on it. And when you do that, you're going to do it from my affiliate link down below in the panels. Just click that Card Kingdom header, and it'll take you there from here, and lets them know you got there from watching Going Optimal, and that's great for me. But we look to be ready, so I'm going to hop over to my left monitor here and show you what I see. I'm going to move this chat out of the way so that we get to see the chat above my box down there in the corner. And I'm ready to go. Let's see who's Gargantuan is running this event, so we're all gonna indicate our readiness, and then we're gonna get our first picks. Here we go. Maybe. Where's Draco? Draco's coming at me twice this day. Hope Draco's all right. Draco's pretty male name, isn't it? You know, I try to avoid presuming pronouns around here, but sometimes it seems clear. Doctor. The doctor is... So you're a king and a doctor? That's a lot of titles. All right, I'm gonna pause the YouTube video at this point, and we'll wait for Draco to join us. It happens. Don't worry, don't panic. It's all good, mods. We can do a little AMA here while we wait. Let's see. I'm watching. What content are you all consuming? I just finished A Little Hatred by Joe Abercrombie, and concluded by the end that Joe Abercrombie is just kind of my favorite author. And Stephen Pacey, who does his audiobooks, is the most impressive audiobook reader I have ever listened to. So if you like high fantasy, check out Joe Abercrombie. And it kind of starts with the Blade itself. That's the entry point for Abercrombie. But he has a million books in that series, and they're all incredible. So, all right. Looks like we got Draco, and we're ready. Or do we? Draco's still spinning from my seat. Abercrombie is like, I compare him to, he's like a Tarantino of high fantasy. High levels of descriptive blood and gore, but just masterfully told. And his turn of a phrase is crazy good. I hardly a page goes by in an Abercrombie book where I don't want to write down a quote. Yeah, Scott Lynch only producing a Gentleman's Bastards book once every 7 years is like one of my biggest complaints in life. All right, we're starting. We have a rare that I'm not thrilled with. We have a Weaponize we could build around. Boon of the Wish Giver, draw 4, cycle 1, pretty sweet. If I'm going to take a cycling card, though, I think I would take the Stinger and start with a leaning there. There's also the Marmoset. I see the appealing picks here as all red, frankly. Weaponize, Stinger, and Marmoset are the most appealing picks to me here. And Stinger is certainly the most open because it has cycling 1. And we could end up running it in any deck and just accepting it as a cycle 1. And you know me, I'm perfectly willing to lean towards cycling. So I think we do that here. Weaponize might be the best card, but this is the most flexible. And also, I don't know if this table is going to treat Weaponize like the best card. We'll see. Stinger or Boon? Yeah, I'm going to go with the Stinger. Here's another Stinger. In this case, we're missing a rare or mythic, so not a ton of info on that front. But I don't see anything else here to compete with another Stinger. This is not a great pack. So yeah, I'm gonna take it and we'll see. I'm not trying to force cycling, but I think my picks have been correct so far. I'll be very surprised if this table lets the healer wheel. A lot of strong drafters here. But there was also some significant cycle 1 in the pack, so maybe they do just let it keep going around. Open on 3 stingers. Could take a smasher. Well, so far, if I get cut and have to abandon, I got a bunch of cycle 1s I can still throw in a deck. So yeah, I'll take a 3rd stinger. Let's get the 12 stinger limited deck. That'd be pretty darn good. Stipulation: must draft all Draneth stingers. It's kind of a self-stipulation anyway. If my deck is 24 stingers, 16 land, why don't we just cut it down though? We should play some off color cyclers. Oh, sorry, I have a pick to make. Hello. Hey, look. I was down here as though it was going to pop me up when it was my pick. I'm glad we didn't get timed out. Well, it's paying off. Taking the Thundermane over the Moloch for sure. Moloch is good though. A little surprised to see that still here. But we're going to take the signally one. More signally. What do you think? I don't mind an officer in a cycling deck, but we don't need to take it here. I think it's Claws or the kind of 9th best. Let's call this the 9th best cycling payoff. I think 9th best cycling payoff is correct here over a cycling 2. If there was a cycling 1, I would take it. But I think I'm going to take 9th best payoff over cycling 2. Here is a cycling 2 that is also castable that will take over Arrow. I think it's quite possible we'll get to the end of the deck and I would happily trade a Wolverine for the Claws. It's quite possible. Well, I don't doubt it, but I mean, I don't know. Maybe if everybody's on the Claws here over Wolverine, I guess. But the thing is, as quality as Claws is, it is ultimately replaceable in its role in this deck, right? It's very replaceable. It's replaceable by a million cards in the set is the thing. Wolverine is not the payoff we want, but if we don't have the payoffs, we're going to be so happy we have the Wolverine. But that Claws is not so important to the cycling deck that I think it's even that much of a signal. Here we can get a Claws, which I am liking over the Sails. Sails is nice, but Claws suddenly wins games. So we have a decent deck started, but it's not a good deck yet. And certainly going in on cycling has its swinginess, right? If we don't quite get there, it could be a weak deck. But if we get any kind of hookups, we'll have a strong deck. Leosaur seems like it ought to be something we want in a red-white deck, but I want to cycle one more. Doesn't have much of a home in the format, although I have played it successfully a couple of times. And we talked about this before. When we do get cycling, it's really nice when they're instants or sorceries because of the Wolverines. Nobody in our chat likes this Mythos. We're not going to take it here. We're taking Shredded Sails, another good pickup. Who's passing to me? Brolas. I like a half on color tap land in cycling decks. Certainly more than a Gremlin or a Sabertooth or a Dart. We end up with some green cyclers. We have this chance to cast them. Terran, probably the most annoying for us. This is an in-pod draft and in-pod play, so we're going to be playing against the cards we're passing. Yeah, I don't know if the clause sends a signal that's what I meant. Like, I don't think clause is any kind of big signal to send. We'll take a Cloud Piercer and maybe play it. You can, you know, sometimes you just need extra creatures in these cycling decks to make sure you don't cycle into nothing. And then again, that's why I kind of took the Wolverine. You really do want to be sure you're getting the creature density needed to win. Yeah, we agree, Chicken. I don't think it's correct to take Cycle 1 over Thundermane. I know Thundermane isn't as amazing as it might look like, but I think it's still the pick over Cycle 1 if you're in a cycling deck. Oh yeah, I could have taken it, although we're best of one. I don't think anybody's running a main deck volley. Well, I hate to see this in the draft because it's not for us. What is for us? Boy, maybe it is. What do we got? We got a Pacifism. We've got a Coordinated Charge. We've got a Lore Dracus that we might mutate to get back some of one of our spells, but probably just a Pacifism. I don't. Yeah, we could take a. That's also true. We could take a Dirge Bat and be ready to pivot. This is not splashable. I don't know who's calling this splashable, but Dirge Bat does not seem splashable to me. However, none of the payoffs here are like Pacifism is the only question to me. Like Dracus is interesting, but we can hedge on the bat or just take Pacifism to shore up what we're actively doing. I think I'm going to take Pacifism and be grown up about this. I understand if you take the bat here on the hedge, I don't blame you, but I think Pacifism is just good enough for me to take. I'm going to do that. I really do want to stick with the cycling deck we started out towards here. We can take a Weaponize now, since clearly, like, our table does value it. Maybe Sohaj. I think this is just good enough that it was that close to me. I don't think I'm trying to draft the easy way. I think I'm trying to assess what's likely to give us the best EV, and I made my choice. I do not like the Auricorn. Yeah, let's just cycle one. I think you're right. I don't want to weaponize, but weaponize can be a good reach in cycling chicken. It depends if you have the token spewer in the cycling deck. Vantasaur, actually I like Vantasaur over Crater. There's not a lot of expendable creatures in the cycling deck, but also you don't need weaponize to do that much before it has earned its card, because if you can do it at instant speed, so as they kill your Snare Tactician, you respond by throwing it at their 2-drop, you know, or their 2 toughness. That's legit. Here we go. This is the dude I was saying makes you want weaponize in the cycling deck, and we're gonna snap it up. Oh, that's cool. Draco's streaming. Nice. Well, well, well. Rescuer, great pickup. Got some payoffs lining up here. Again, Wolverine, not an amazing one, but all of this helps deadify our opponent while we're cycling. This might be my favorite Cycle 1 card. Go for Blood. Legit removal, but also has Cycle 1 attached. Yeah. I don't know if there's another person directly in red-white cycling, but I feel like it's open enough that we're going to end up with a solid deck here. Cycle 1, Cycle 2. Ooh, careful now. Whoa. Do not want to accidentally pick that. I want to intentionally take Healer over Blitz. Blitz is solid. Oh, did I not move the yeah, sorry, ambush. I see what you're talking about now. I want to put my ambush in the cycle ones. There you go. Thank you. And yeah, I do want to pick up a Blitz, but not here. We're going to take a Healer. Put it right in our confirm pick, and then put it in our cycle 1 pile. I come from a long line of Ohio State University graduates. My dad, grandfather, and uncle are all from Columbus, Ohio, and all went to OSU. Take a Scoured Barons. I was close, old man. We do want... Okay, I didn't know which OSU you were talking about, but that's the OSU I was talking about. We're going to take a charge narrowly over the Barons here. What's that? Something's making noise at me. Why do I have an alarm set for 12:32 on Friday, May 29th? I don't know, but... Crag here. This is a good crystal, but I think we'll get... I don't think we need this crystal. I don't think we're trying to cast anything blue yet. I'm going to take the Crag. Help cast our stuff. Well played, Hat. Another charge is good enough to take over the caves, which I would like to help cast a memory leak, but we're going to take charge over Wilt. I would be 2 Krauser if it wasn't totally in my range to accidentally set alarms. I was close, Haj, but I do like these coordinated charges with the Valiant Rescuer, and maybe we'll get another Rescuer before this is over. This is only pack 2. Here's a Light of Hope. Is that better than, you know, it's... I just take cycling 2 though, right? Over any of this stuff. We're gonna probably cut this type of thing, but in case we get dried up on the cycling, we should take it here. Although, yeah, I mean, we could make an argument for like even an Auricorn or Ceratops. Again, just stuff to put on the ground in the cycling deck. Yeah, that's true. I think I'll take a Ceratops, actually. I don't think we'll need that snare. Hey, we wield a crater. That's awesome. Move this crater to our cycle ones. And Ceratops to just, like, whatever cards. We'll take a Facet Reader. That's the most playable thing here. Will of the All Hunter has cycling and is castable. Get in our deck. I don't often cast Will of the All Hunter, but when you do, it's usually for a very good effect. Again, I don't think, even though Blazing Volley is like good against us in some respects, I would rather cut the Phase Dolphin that I guess if somebody has an Abosh deck that they're going to run this main in or something, I guess I'll cut that. There's a Light of Hope we can not play. Moloch. No awesome payoffs here, so let's go... Oh, maybe we take a Rock Slide, though. We don't have... Let's see, what is our snare tech? Do we have any snare tacticians? No tacticians, so I'm actually going to take a piece of removal here. Well, maybe I'll take Moloch here, but we do want to get some removal this pack. Ambush is a good cycle one, yeah, but no... Moloch is Value Town. Like... Moloch is a 4/4 for 4, and again, you do need to just kind of put things on the ground in the deck. It does cycle if you need it to cycle at twice the cost of the ambush, but it still does the thing this does, and it helps you play other, you know, then you get to play. Like, I love cycling a coordinated charge, then late Moloch back the coordinated charge and just win with it. You know, Moloch is definitely the pick here, but there's a bunch of other stuff we'd like to get back. Really hoping for some early, strong payoffs because they're not going to last, right? We only have a handful of picks here to fill out this deck, and I was really hoping for nice, powerful cycling payoffs here. Instead, we get a Serpent, which is okay. It's just not like we want to get this late, right? We want the Zenith Flares and the Foxes and more Rescuers, the uncommon payoffs before it's too late. And it will become too late quickly. Healer, decent. Let's see what else the pack has. Nothing. So it's a healer pick. Void Beckoner going around. Might be a Reanimator happening. I don't know, Haj. This is looking pretty all right. Just missing a couple things. But yeah, a Tactician or a Marm would be nice. I think we have one Marmoset, don't we? Oh no, we passed it for something else. So yeah, like, oh yeah, we took a third Stinger over Marm. Well, we do have the triple Stinger. We want to move those to more payoffs. Moloch is also almost payoff-like in its quality to me. But maybe this will be a poster child for the risks of leaning too heavily into cycling if the world has figured out how to manage it. And we've talked about how oppressive good removal can be in the format. We might just get removaled out of this. And yeah, we're kind of missing. This last pack has been really bad for us. We get a cycle 1 here. But again, I'm looking for payoffs. As good as cycle 1 is, we want payoffs. Yeah, it seems decent, but with how much it seemed open, I think in particular, I think we've gotten very unlucky in pack 3 in terms of payoffs available. Unless, like, maybe what happened is somebody right upstream from us got into the cycling deck and is now cutting the payoffs from us. But we do have, we can put Serpent here. Like, how do we win being the question? Like, we do have, some ways to get on board and win. Moloch becomes a way to win. So not as good as I'd like to see a cycling deck, but I think we're doing okay here. There's a Cliffs we could take if we thought we were going to try and cast. I mean, we'd play it, the ability to cast Startling Development, but Third Charge is not super sexy, but still maybe the pick. We don't want to run, like, right now, 27, 26, right now we have 25 spells, including like a Cloud Piercer. Yeah, it's late-ish, but it's pack 3. Nothing really surprises me pack 3 because you just don't, people get into their colors and then that's it. So I'm going to take Charge. Yeah, and we're leaning on this Rescuer heavily. This is kind of like last chance for like a Snare Tactician or a Marm or some sort of good payoff for cycling here. Yeah, right? Now who wants this Wolverine? Another Parcel Beast for the torture. We can take the cycle, but maybe just need another Cloud Piercer to continue to have things to do. We don't have a lot of places to mutate it onto, but I'm just talking about paying 5 mana for a 5/4 with Reach over adding another Cycler. Yeah, Glider is the similar, like, if we want to add bodies, we could add a Glider as well. I think you know me, I like the lands and stuff, but I think in this case, we're low enough on finishing threats that, yeah, I think we take the Glider and grudgingly play it. In a cycling deck that doesn't fully get there, it's perfectly fine to play the Cloud Piercers and the Gliders and the things that just get on board. This is if we put flying on it, we can at least mutate the Cloud Piercer onto the Glider and have a 5/5 in the air. That could be good. Curious to find out, and I guess we'll see through play if and how many other people were in cycling, and maybe it's just missing payoffs. Because look, pack 3, pick 7, we get one of the payoffs I was hoping for. One last chance at something new on the cycling front. What a great pickup, though, right? Whew, that's huge. Yeah, that makes sense to me, Haj. That screams of one other person in cycling who took a different payoff in the pack. But I think it's there may be another cycler player, but we definitely just got unlucky that our first handful of picks didn't include any. And now without Tacticians, I am feeling light on removal. We're going to hopefully, Shredded Sails can take out a flyer. Go for Blood can be removal. We got the Pacifism. Thundermane can throw some shocks around. Will of the All Hunter can act like removal in certain spots. We're going to take a Startling Development on the Cycle 1 here over another Glider. I think this looks fine. We could roll over to heavy removal, but other than that, I think it looks fine. I mean, we got a light of hope we're not even playing, folks. Ooh, interesting choice. Cycling 1, but a checkpoint officer, with us having acknowledged that our removal situation is a bit sketchy. I want more. I'll take all the cycling ones I can get, but I think we got to take an officer here. It's what the deck needs. Fourth, coordinated charge. Third, Will of the All Hunter. Probably third, Will of the All Hunter. We only want to cast one coordinated charge. We could conceivably cast multiple Wills of the All Hunter if the situation's lined up. Besides, we're going to get the extra coordinated charge right here. My. All right, coordination is going to be in our deck name. Start thinking of your puns. Coordinated Sting. Orkhorn as Desperation, possible playable, put a dude out type thing. Nothing matters here, but I'll take the Goriak. That's, I think, the most likely to matter to somebody. We're not playing Sabretooth or Goriak. Well, good news, we also have a lot of cuts, so that's cool. I'm going to move these lands out for now. We don't need to... We're not cycling anything green, so we're not going to play the Sands, but we'll play the Crag. And I'm going to start by looking at my cycle 1s. I think that's it for cycle 1, unless someone's seeing something I'm not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 cycle 1s. No looting. That's a hard result. Oh, 11. Yeah, where'd the Vantage Throw go? Sorry. Yes, thank you. So I think this is 13. So we need 27 playables. Cut 5. Oh, there's a healer too. Yeah, we can definitely do 13. Cut a charge. Maybe cut the Cloud Piercer. Here's all of our... This is just good stuff. These are payoffs. We'll put cycle 2 over here. Oops, didn't want to cut that. I'm not cutting the Pyro yet because we might run it given our low removal situation. But maybe we don't have the luxury. But like maybe we run it over the Cloud Piercer. I guess we cut it. We'll run Cloud Piercer and maybe the Glider here. Maybe. Could just move in. Forget our backup plans and hope that Serpent, Moloch, coordinated charge, and tokens is enough. Yeah, we're casting them some. You don't need to cast many instants or sorceries before you're happy with the Ceratops, though. 3/4, it becomes like, all right. then 4 or 5, and you're like, yeah. So it only needs to like get 2 counters, and then you're fine, right? So, but in this case, we can do this, make 1 cut, and basically have the deck. So I like that. And I think it's just one of the wills of the All Hunter, or a charge even. Again, we only want to cast charge once, so I think it's 3 wills and 2 charges. And then I guess I'm going to ask myself, would we rather have like a will of the all? Do we need more density of stuff? I may come back and revisit and like put Pyroceratops, Glider, or Cloudpiercer in, but this is going for pure cycling, so let's try that first anyway. And land-wise, no islands. I'm going to put back in our crag, and then we're stinging first and foremost, so we want more red than white. So we'll go 6, 7, like that. Oh no, wait, we did 13, right? So 6 and 6. So we'll just do it we'll just split it even. And export. Hat thinks I'm going to want a scapegoat. I think this is correct. I think we're just more likely to cast wills than coordinated charges. So let's trim these. All right, export. Hop back over here. Thank you for that sub and doing it with your Twitch Prime. What a great use of Twitch Prime, supporting some of your favorite streamers. One of yours? One of yours.
Yes.
You can't even just give me straight number 1?
I don't know anybody else. But I have open to.
All right, where's my client? Oh, well, I'm glad you made it live. Thank you, RD. Awesome to have you here. I'm going to put in cool lands and add some to the board in case we want to change it up and splash something. Although we can change between games, and this is not best of 3, so if we decide to make a change, we can switch things up between games. No big deal. I'm going to go with my man Avon. Anonymous gifting of subs. You guys are awesome. Thanks. Now then, we're going to call this Coordinated Hunt. Climber likes the new sub jingle. That's my daughter. She sang my backup vocals in the karaoke version of Haven't Met You Yet that I did as a gift to chat. So you should check that out if you haven't seen it yet.
I can't believe you didn't ask me.
It was supposed to be a gift. Looks like Tron is my first match. Oh yeah, Murder Hornets would be a good name too. I like it. All right, chat. We're doing it. That looks just fine. Gonna keep that. Thank you. Let's get the right scene for you now. I'm not gonna cycle. Ooh, good. Stinger is exactly what I wanted to find. I wanted to find other things to do besides Thundermane. If we hadn't found a Stinger, I would have absolutely played the Thundermane. But I'm hoping we save Thundermane for 5, where we can play it and on 5 mana cycle and shock something. Here, though, Reflection. Well, actually, maybe I will go Thundermane here. No. Puts it at risk. Trouble is, we're not gonna. I want to play and cycle next turn to make the reflection go, so we wouldn't even get the attack in. I'm going to do it as a 3-2. I'm doing it. Because next turn we're going to reflect, we're going to play a land, we're going to ambush and attack. Yeah, we don't get to shock something. But if they also play, if they play out a 2, then we can change plans and shock something. So we put the Thundermane at risk, but it's worth it. Because if they don't have an answer, if Tron can't deal with the Thundermane, we get to have a great turn next turn. And we really put on the pressure for him to add to the board right now. So there's pauses. Or were there? We'll see. Definitely go Reflection and cycle the ambush. So let's see if there's any pause here. No pause, so it looks like we just get free attack. That's okay. Just kind of crossing my fingers, trying to hope if that Thundermane lives to untap, we're in great shape because we get to cycle, make a 5/4, and burn out the Scorp. Okay, we don't get it, unfortunately, but we do get this instead. I'll take this follow-up plan. And we'll save the charge here for the go wide. I'm sure someone will fire off an exclamation point command to give you the deets, King. Or here, I can do it. And is it like Gauntlet? That's the info command? I gotta learn my, learn my own commands. No. I don't know. I guess Tron's streaming today too. Nah, no worries, King. We love distractions around here. All right, we do have attack and win, but I like cycle leak, and make a dude and attack 5-4, and then go for the win next turn. Although maybe I should cycle Serpent, since it's the more expensive cycle, because that would mean next turn with a land, we could cycle for 1 and still hardcast Coordinated Charge. So even though it's close to being hardcastable, we're going to cycle the Serpent here. If we got randomly discarded, that would stink, and I don't need to play this turn to set up what I said next turn with cycle 1, play Coordinated Charge, so I'm going to hold. Yeah, that's true. We could set up the charge that turn. Not sure what the time-traveling supercomputer would say about my choices in that one. I like waiting. I kind of want to make another dude, but I want to be sure we pull off the plan, so I'm going to hold. A lot of mana, 3 cards. We are not guaranteed to be done here, but certainly a Coordinated Charge helps. I think Tron needs a couple of answers here, not just one. Because, like, kill, block, we still get through for 6. You know, so it's like got to be like kill, block, and answer another one somehow. Five, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We could also just go for blood here, but I don't see the need for that either. I think we should just go for the Coordinated Charge plan. Yeah, 3, like, well, he already has 1 answer. He needs 3 answers, 1 of which is on the table, 2 more of which need to be in hand. Well, there you go. But we do get to charge in response here and keep everything alive. Okay, we'll let that happen. See where the blocks take place. Alright, still got there. He didn't know he had to kill a token, though. Tron should have killed a token if he were stream sniping, but he took a line, yeah, that made sense. He couldn't play around that, right? He was correctly not playing around the thing he couldn't really beat. Oh, I've done that too, developer. Not in a while, but I've done that before.
I do my hair toss, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling?
Hair is safe. All right. Now I gotta bring up my list. Who's next? Gargantuan, you got it. Yeah, I felt like I had you pretty good, Tron, especially with that Coordinated Charge at the ready. But there were like, it was like, well, there's some scenarios I could kind of imagine you getting out of it, but then yeah. All right, this is another spot where you just gotta suck it up and keep. We have 3 cycle 1s, and one land. That gives us 3 shots at a second land by turn 2, and another 5 shots by turn 3, and that's enough to keep it. I think we just have high standards for what looks like what a good cycling deck is at this point, Tron. And I don't think this is any amazing cycling deck, so it doesn't surprise me that Hat said the deck isn't looking great, because it's not great. It's just, but it's good enough. All right, perfect. There's our land. There's another land. Get to go on Stinger here. I'm going Stinger because if they kill something, I want it to be Stinger. Next turn, we can play Rescuer and cycle Blood. Ooh. Yeah, we still go Rescuer, cycle Blood. Don't need to cycle now. Yeah, if you get offensive with the enchantment, it's really rough. If Oppo just doesn't have the defensive tools, what do you do about a 5/4 trampler that you can't block profitably? It's just like, yikes. Yeah, that was pack 3, pick 7. Ha ha! Robert drew 2 Whisper Squads. You and everybody else, Nicole. I got it 7th. Yeah, sad to cycle the blood, but we're gonna do it. Gotta keep going on this. Yeah, let's watch out for the weapon eyes, right? Robert's gonna start chucking... I'm laughing. I'm doing a fake laugh at Robert, but he's going to start chucking Whisper Squads at me and going, ha ha. Thanks, D. Safe for 1 more week. I can play out another Stinger and have another cycle 2. We also have the play of just casting Will of the All Hunter. So now we hold, because we can cast Will of the All Hunter to save something if we need to, but we can also cycle a Will, or even the Serpent if we want. I'm going to try and cast the Serpent eventually at this point, but probably going to cycle 1 Will if we don't have a reason to use it, and clearly we do not. All right, there's a charge that we're going to get around to at some point, but we're going to just play an officer and do the same hold plan here. I think I might cycle the Serpent, really. I think Will protecting our Rescuer is pretty big game. With the Whisper Squads, we can't read anything into pauses right now because the Whisper Squads answer the pause, so we don't know anything about the hand. that being said, what do we cycle here? I am going to cycle the Serpent. It's several turns away from casting, and we kind of have a good plan with charge, go wide. So, bye-bye, Serpent. Shields down for Robert to slip in a removal spell if he has it, but it doesn't look like it. Well, I'm gonna hard cast Stinger and cycle again. Shock, draw a card. I mean, Lightning Bolt, draw a card seems okay. Lightning Bolt, draw a card, make a 1/1. Sorry, don't want to sell myself short. I'm going to cycle the Raking Claws. Nothing here is particularly powerful, so this isn't very good without the, your Serpents or whatever. It's a touch full, touch full. We could spend our 2 mana to tap something down, like tap the Tigerilla, so that if we draw land, we just coordinated charge and try and win. Is that good? We tap this, and then we're attacking for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 creatures that get +3/+3. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blockers. We win all combats. Why? I would rather cycle the Claws if we're going to cycle. Don't you think, Hodge? Like, the Claws isn't actually worth that much more damage right now, whereas this could save an important creature. Making a 1/1 does a similar thing, right? Because if we're just taking out a blocker, it's basically similar. You're not wrong, Craig. I am going to cycle with that logic, but I'm going to cycle the Claws, Hodge. I think the Will is more castable and more valuable, but maybe I'm wrong. Wouldn't be the first time. Well, there's a will, there's a way. Still don't have the enough mana to cast the charge. We could cast the reflection, knowing that we can't. That puts our shields down on will. And I don't think I want to be shields down on will. Now we get both. I could cycle one on this turn to then potentially cycle on next turn. Yeah, let's do that. I'm going to say no attacks, though. I'm going to cycle now. Then we get one dude on this turn, plus, again, a bunch of damage. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, maybe we just cycle into land and 1 mana cyclers and just kind of end it. No flares. Well, Craig, let's note that the difference is, so far, we've only had one of our payoffs removed. If someone comes at us with a high density of great removal, then our deck can really stumble, because it needs the rescuers, it needs the stingers, right? I think we could even beat Blazing Volley at this point. Not sure what this attack is about, other than possibly the archer dude, the 4/2 getcha. I don't see why I shouldn't just take this, though. I don't see how we're punished by taking 2 at 20. Yeah, commando. Yeah, sure. There you go. But certainly. No reason to risk blocking there. Cycle attack should be enough now. There's our land. Now we should get it. Still not hearing music. I was trying to turn a little music on in here. There it is. I'll turn it up a little more. See how that does. We could probably just cycle to win. But I think this is a clear win, so I'm going to send it. Now I hear, well, there is music in my ears. It's just low. D says he doesn't hear it, but do y'all hear it now? I don't want it to be high volume. I just want it to be kind of barely noticeable underneath stuff. See, that's even a little loud for me. Try that. Oh, people might be trying to talk to me. I also have my emotes off. So, Robert and Tron, if you tried to emote at me, I wasn't paying attention. Ooh, that's a good one. I am building up my soundboard categories, so we could work on that as a stream together too, figuring out which ones. Yeah, who is next? Looks like it's the Dr. King Coffee. Oops. Meme Machine. How about Sail? I love Sail.
Come sail away, come sail away, come sail away with me, lads.
Lovely Keep. I'm gonna cycle the ambush because we don't have 3 land yet. Alright, now we're gonna, not that we can cycle here, but now I'm gonna hold. I went 7-0 once, Nickel, and what I earned was that if you all 7-0 me, I get to control my eyebrows. Although I was thinking I might need to, like, I might give you back my eyebrows and instead say that for 7-0 I should have an end date on the offer, you know? I'm going to attack. If they want to block, I will use Raking Claws, or even just maybe even trade here. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do it. Yeah, Robert, I found what I needed that time. Well, you didn't find removal. Like, if you, I don't know what kind of removal you had, but I assume if you had some removal to cut some of those key pillars out from under me, you would have had a better chance, right? And I could cycle here for a little extra damage, but I'm not gonna. We're gonna take a natural draw and at least play this stinger. I can't bring myself to go for blood the Farfinder, though I'm obviously worried about mutate. Is it worth? Do you think it's worth killing the Farfinder to prevent the mutate target? I'm starting to think maybe it is. I can attack first, though. Really hate using removal on a creature that's already generated value for my opponent, but there's a lot of great mutate 4, right? A lot of great mutate 4. So I'm going to kill it. Maybe this gives us another attack for damage. And a cycle healer for more damage. Well, there you go. There's the kind of the cycle or the mutate I was worried about. But we will go. I'm gonna cycle the healer. Yeah, parcel. We passed 2 parcel beasts. Mr. Officer. So now our question is whether we're cycling the Vantrasaur or trying to cast it. It can't attack into the Greathorn currently, but it does provide quite a decent ground blocker against Sultai Mutate, which is often on the ground. It can launch up. It's got herons and stuff to turn the mutants into flyers. So, and we have the Officer, so maybe I cycle because of the Officer and because of the reality that it's not going to take them too much to get some flying onto their mutants. And looks like nothing huge, nothing devastating comes back here, so yeah, true calling out how this deck can fail. But they do have to find the removal. And we're shocking and drawing cards. Yeah. All right. Now we're trying to decide whether we cycle or tap. I think I'm not going to do anything. They can attack if they want. And yeah, I'm just going to tap down the Lurker instead of making a dude. And this could be legit removal, but I kind of want it as make a creature. So I'm gonna use this as a attack. Yeah, it could be Shore Shark. That's true. Wait, let's see. If we're afraid of a Shore Shark, what do we want to have happen? I want to be able to tap it in response. So then they bounce something, but then we just tap it. So the main thing is, I guess that means we can't really attack with the expectation of casting. No, we can. Yeah, we can attack, right? And then go full control. And we can tap it. Yeah, this is fine. I'm gonna tap it. Deadeye is okay, because assuming they go on to the Rescuer, we can hard cast for the trade of our will. Oh no, they just trade, right? So maybe I cycle here. I'll cycle because I can't win combat. And we wouldn't get another creature if we cycled again, so we'll hold development for their turn. I'm going to hold the land too. No reason to... It keeps us one spare for discard. Maybe it keeps us from cycling one twice, but unless we lose our stingers, that shouldn't really matter either. And now with what's going on, we're really just trying to cycle our way to the final 8 damage. This is pretty good. You know, the Lurker's doing a lot of work here. Getting big, but it's not going to matter if our stingers have the reach to just get there. Yeah, Mutate is frequently weak against cycling because of the Tactician, but we don't have any of those. That's fine, no block. We might untap and find a +3 or +2/+1 instant. Yeah, and we can start tapping it down. That's why we prioritized this over an additional cycle one, because we just didn't have a lot of interaction. Alright, that's pretty cool, because now we can go Thundermane. Or try, maybe they have counters. Now we could force a trade with a Deadeye. Looks like Doctor thinks it's all good, all done. I think we hold though. Let's see if he plays this. If they play this, then we lose one of these two. I think we just wait and untap. I guess we could send in both stingers, and then one gets in. Yeah, I'm just gonna wait. East wants to send in the stingers. I didn't want, like, they just are gonna win us the game, so I don't even want to trade a stinger for a Deadeye here. Or was this tapped? Did I miscount the mana? Yeah, don't talk, D. Unless you were here for the draft, don't you be talking, D. So now, oh, hold on, let me make sure, like, the Moloch doesn't just give us some weird win. Because we can Moloch cast Go for Blood. If we Moloch cast Go for Blood, then what? We could also, I'm just trying to make sure we get there here, right? And it's probably just best to cycle I'm just going to cycle. Take out the otter. All right, there's a charge we can use, and now we'll set up to win next turn. Oh, I have the win. Did I miss it? One, two, three. Yeah, I guess I had the win. Oh yeah, that's right. They have the Deadeye play. See, I'm smart. Just being patient. Now I think that's just game. We obviously let them attack with anything they want to attack with. And I'm going to tap down Big Boy. And now we have Will and Coordinated Charge, but I think we just attack with everything, and we have Cycle, Will, and Cast Coordinated. Yeah, we have 2 cycles even. It's just cycle, cycle. Name the punt, D. D just throwing out punts for no reason. I know, we can cycle twice. It's fine. Lots of ways to victory here, as Jay Schneider would say. Still had all these, I guess. Well, the cycling deck is working out because my key pieces are surviving. I'm waiting for somebody in chat to actually kill my payoffs, and then it's going to be tougher. Yeah, but Rob, we didn't know we were going to cycle into cycle into cycle. I played it conservatively, but not incorrectly, I don't think. We didn't have lethal, D. It was a big lie. See, you just believe chat lethal instead of doing the math yourself. Dionysus, you shouldn't punt unless you have figured out the punt, because you just took somebody else's word on it and just randomly punted. You didn't even know what was going on. All right, it's Craig from Canada up for his first match here on the old chat gauntlet. Welcome, Craig. Punt is an adoption of an American football term that has been kind of co-opted by the Magic community to twist its meaning a little bit. In the game of American football, when you punt, you're basically saying, too risky to continue, we're going to take a more conservative play and come back to fight again another day. Punting generally means, I'm going to delay and we're going to get to that later, right? Okay, well, a lot of people don't, Pop. Some people, I have a European international audience who don't give a crap about American football. But basically, it's a weird version of that punt, right? Because a punt in football implies that you did not have a successful drive, that you weren't successful. So it's kind of like the idea is lack of success. I find that even Americans who hate football know what a punt is, though, because the reason Americans who hate football hate it so much is that you can't frickin' escape it. So I'm cycling because we don't have any payoffs yet. I'm gonna go ahead and play the checkpoint officer. Blocks the brushwag for right now. Gives us a chance to find something like a stinger so that these cyclings actually do something instead of dig. Who was it? I was watching something. Oh, I think it was Taskmaster, which is the show that Luis recommended, and then independently of Luis on LR, my daughter recommended Taskmaster to me, so I've started watching Taskmaster and I love it. It is great. But one person in Taskmaster, one of the contestants, they got onto sports, and she put it this way. She's like, I look at like so many people, they really care about where the ball is. I just don't care where the ball is. I just don't care. That was a great way to to express your lack of concern for sports. I don't care where the ball is. What are we doing now? I could send in the officer and have Will and actually just try and have removal. I think Craig may be doing some mutating here. I think I'll start tapping stuff. And we'll cycle the development and tap the fertilid or the brushwag here. I'm actually going to tap the fertilid because if Craig wants to spend his entire turn pumping that brushwag, I say do it, Craig. I want you to. Oh, I brought it up and I intend to watch it, but I have not watched it yet. I did finish the documentary on Jordan though and really enjoyed that. How do you know where Craig is from? It's a lot of assumptions there, I think. As I thought, Craig wasn't going to spend his turn pumping a wag. Not doing anything, though. That screams of, like either that activating Fertilid is super important to Craig, or what? I'm actually not up on current basketball enough to have a valuable opinion on who's going to win when basketball comes back. I'm gonna play a stinger. I'm gonna pass and put it on Oppo to do some stuff. But I guess it's always about the Blazers, and doesn't Milwaukee have the best player now, right? Don't the Bucks have the best player in the league? So it looks like Craig really is trying to get ramped here. I'm not going to stop him. Just going to hope that whatever Craig is ramping into, we can manage with tapping or something. I am going to diss LeBron like that simply because the basketball-obsessed people in my life, a.k.a. Marshall Sutcliffe and others, have acknowledged the Greek Freak, or whatever his name is, as the best player. I don't know though. Again, I'm not knowledgeable enough about current NBA to make such claims. In our first draft today, we had the teamer ultimatum, but I remember from that now that the teamer ultimatum is centered in blue, so Craig would need another blue source to ultimatum us. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now this can attack as a 7/7, but I'm still in for that. If Craig wants to spend all turn making a 7/7, we get to go for blood it when we untap. We could also just tap it, but I'm gonna say go for it. Yeah, right. They had an opportunity to get ultimatum mana and didn't, so I'm assuming Craig does not have the teamer ultimatum here. Sandy. Well, we're going to be doing some tapping. And I could have cycled there, but I like just keeping the sandworm at bay here. Probably need to blood the wag, though, or that's going to get out of hand. So I like hard cast blood here, killing the wag, and then tapping down sandworm, and that being our turn sequence here. The biggest delta between career length and position played, like certain positions have much shorter careers than others. Surely that's got to be the best. Yeah, I mean, your running backs are the shortest lived players. Running backs have like 4-year careers in the NFL on average. I think it's absurdly small, which is why my super smart NFL friends all say running backs don't matter. It matters that you have a competent running back, but it doesn't largely matter how good that running back is. Just that you have a competent one, and then you make your running backs work through your other positions. They don't matter. Show me if they matter so much, Chris, Crid, show me the title. Show me your championship. Show me your good Lions team. Barry Sanders was awesome, but he didn't matter. And also, Barry Sanders is old. I'm talking current football, current NFL. Maybe you are too, but yeah, we can just go Wolverine and tap. That's an interesting line. I should focus on this. Oh, I see what you're saying. But not having a Sanders level running back is not the Detroit Lions problem, is what I'm saying. Like, honestly, right now, if Detroit could get the rebirth of Barry Sanders on their team, or the best left tackle of all time, I think you would take the best left tackle. That's kind of what I'm getting at. Championships sell jerseys, though. Dad Bauer, championships sure do. Not even championships. Hanging everything on championships is also overrated because you only have like a 1 in 30, 32 chance per season to accomplish that goal. But competitive playoff runs sell t-shirts, sell jerseys. Say no blocks on this one. Pop has the TLDR on what I'm talking about. I'm talking about offensive tackle, Tongo, but surely LT was a great one. Havoc, that's probably my favorite Seinfeld bit. The one where he muses about the fact that all sports fandom is effectively rooting for clothing. Alright, I should try and win this magic game. I love sports talk, of course, but what are we actually going to do here? We can go for blood off the rooting Moloch at some point. Gotta hope this checkpoint officer still keeps living, because right now it's what's saving us from this sandworm. Yeah, we can attack with the Wolverine and turn it at instant speed into a 5-power double striker. So we send in that and then see what happens to decide what to do after. Baseball is an acquired taste, Haj, an acquired taste. Let's say that. Depends on what you're into the sports for. You want to cast the will just to deal 10? We could deal 10, bring him to 8. That is a lot of damage. But I don't know if that's worth it here. I don't like that yet. I don't think that's correct yet. I think one question is, though, we could cycle a charge even just to get in the 6. Like, I'd rather cycle this and get in 6 than cast this and get in 10. And we're not going really wide yet. I'm going to do that. I'm going to cycle my charge. Oh, yeah, well, 7 because of the cycle, but yeah, I'm talking about Wolverine damage. Yeah, and let's play second stinger and pass. Now we've got a nice attacking threat that goes really late in the draft. We were, debating this card early over a cycle 1, and it was a castable cycle 2. It was something like a shredded sails or the double damage. I took Wolverine because of exactly this. Like, you just do need the actual creatures in this deck. Yeah, it sounds like I think it was Raking Claws, you're right. So what's our plan coming up? There was a suggestion of Will that eventually Moloch backs into Will. I certainly like swinging in with Wolverine again because it kind of suggests to Craig that we attacked because we had the clean kill on Fertilid and a trade on the 3/5. So he may go for a block with the 3/5, which lets us hard cast the Will and just straight win that combat. However, if Brushwag stays around as a possible 7/7, we have to keep that in mind too. We could tap the Wag. We tap the Wag. We have 6 mana. That leaves us with 4. We have a lot of damage just in cycling alone here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in cycling damage alone. If we get 5 power of First Strike, the Wag can still just trades for the Wolverine. I'm trying it out, D. I was talking with a friend of mine. He may be watching now. He's kind of a lurker around here. But his thought was that there are times when I go silent appropriately because we're waiting for Oppo or whatever, and there's some dead air moments that would help with a little bit of volume on the music to just give constant sound. That's the idea. I'm trying it out. We'll see how it goes. The idea of memory leaking now would be to find something else that we might actually want to play. I'm going to memory leak now. Alright, still have 6 mana to work with. So we have Cycle, Caster Cycle, and Tap, so I like that. Yeah, let's just stay back with the Wag. Because Dead Air sucks. D, I just explained it. It doesn't add value to you, perhaps, but I'm trying to see if it helps with Dead Air. D, you're the same music over and over. One thing, in all seriousness, D, and everybody else that I might do, I'm exploring what it does for the lack of dead air. But if I want to have low-level music to answer the dead air question, then I can switch to different music. I'm just mainly trying out the effect of low-level music right now, and we can decide what music it ought to be if we decide the music should stay. It doesn't matter, D. The poll is not going to dictate that. I sometimes do polls to take a, but it's not scientific. It's just people who are not lurking, chiming in. Having Will ready on defense is cool because it does the 2 counters thing. But as it is, with no flyers around, we're going to go ahead and cycle the sails. Hopefully find another easy cycle here. Yeah, I'm going to cycle the Will. I think we're done trying to win through Will trickery. We just want to get these stinger pings in. Speaking of stinger pings, Stinger Pings is the name of my Scorpions cover band. Yeah, let's cycle Moloch first, and if we find a cycler, we just win. All right, gang. I'm off the schneid. I made it to 4 wins first. Whew. Glad to have a win back under my belt against chat, honestly. The Jinx is up. Well, keep hanging out, Haj. What was the combo, Craig? I'm not going to do the arena challenge this time, D, because it's not only standard, it's standard in a time where I'm not really interested in standard. So I will do it. I will do an arena challenge when it's limited. Then I'd be happy to. Okay, no problem. On that front, again, I wanted to mention, you know, the EV of that event is pretty decent, but the utility of the EV on that event isn't, which is to say you only need a 52% win percentage to break even in value in the format, according to Frank Karsten. But to realize that value, you need to actually make it into the money, and it's such a top-heavy prize structure that even though you are ostensibly EV plus as a decent player, your expectations need to be set realistically, which is that you mostly are going to be putting in a 4,000 gem buy-in, getting some sleeves, and getting nothing else out of it but the experience of knowing that you participated in a sweet, highly competitive online Magic event. But that's the reason to do it, not because you think the value is there. That the gem value is there somehow. Let's see. We have... Well, the Jinx is back. I'm going to re-challenge. See if that works. All right, we've got ourselves a 1-lander again. This time, well, we do have 3 cycling ones. I'm going to keep, again, and also 2 of them are only for cycling. Also, we're on the draw. All sorts of reasons to keep this one. A lot of scorpions. Why are you all playing scorpions? I don't respect the scorpion, but I'm seeing it a lot from people. I don't even like it in mutate decks, because it's still 2-for-1ing yourself. Yeah, but you'd think if it was Luris, they'd be companioned. My pride is having a big comeback today, Nantuko, let me tell you. Yeah, there is a couple of weaponized going around. Is it even good in weaponized, though? It still feels like you're trying to make a bad card okay with a good card. Found land number 2. I'm going to still cycle this Startling Development. I guess it doesn't matter, because we're going to... Even if we find a plains, it's not going to let us cast anything. So I'm just going to do this and pass. BNR is banned and restricted, Dionysus. They're announcing banned and restricted update on Monday that they have said will address, among other things, the companion mechanic. And they did, I think, phrase it like that, the companion mechanic. So, like, they're gonna, it's not just about banning certain companions, but it seems like they're gonna do something about the mechanic as a whole. Oh, Marmy. Development is cheaper. I'm gonna cycle a 2 here, though. Although, man, we may need to cycle the Go for Blood, too. I'm gonna cycle a 1. I might cycle the Blood as well. Alright, we found our land. I'm gonna hold, then. We might want to use this as removal. Well, D, I've talked about this. The timing is, it's not even bad timing, it's the only timing available. If they feel like this needs to be addressed immediately, well, then they need to address it immediately. But what you don't want to do, D, is, like, let's say you've been playing standard all leading up to this big event tomorrow. Practice, practice, practice. And then in the middle of your practice, you hear from Wizards of the Coast that they've changed the rules, and the deck you've been practicing with is now no longer even good. It broke the deck you have, and you got to do something else. They don't want to do that to people who've been preparing for this event, so you got to let the people get through this event, but then immediately update it after the fact, is what they're thinking. Nantuko, in conveying the problem with mutate onto Scorpion, I don't think it's as helpful to call it a 1.5 or whatever. Of course, there's nuance, but this is a card, and you put a mutate card on top of it. It does not give you a card back, therefore 2 for 1, right? I mean, you're getting nuanced, which we like to do around here, but I think for conveying the message of why I don't like Scorpion, I like just sticking with the... It's too much of a 2 for 1. Let's see. We want to cycle here, though. Cycle one of these wills. And now I like getting a checkpoint officer out and holding for more cycling. We could pacify the Marm, though. This thing could suddenly kill us if we're not careful. We only have 1 white, though, so yeah. I think it's going to be pretty hard for them to kill us out of nowhere with Marmoset in 1 turn. So I think I'm going to take a turn for the officer. And then Raking Claws, and then next turn we can like pacify and tap. There's a lot of action we can do next turn with an officer available. And if they want to use removal on officer, go for it, Jinx. That's a nice thing. You know, this card doesn't get a lot of respect, but it has to be answered. Unfortunately, we did not have the extra white to save it here, so they get their Go for Fire Prophecy dead officer. You think it's fine in a sack deck. If all the deck is doing is sacrificing stuff for value, I still don't like it, Haj. Even in a sack deck, a 1/2 plus Drain 2 just doesn't seem good enough for as a card. Because if all you're doing, like... Yeah, I don't know. I still don't like it. Yeah, the Gandamore, but if this had lived, this would be worth a lot more life over time than the pacifism anyway, so... Can't do it, D. We can mute you. I'm being nice and communicating with my oppos here. All right, well, that's trouble. This could be our first loss with Luca. I'm not worried about a Scorpion, but I'm sure worried about Luca.
They call me a pariah.
And that's a decent reason. Yeah, you say the sacrifice deck. I mean, upgrading, using Luca to upgrade it is
Tactical advantage.
is solid. But see, that to me is not sacrifice. That's Luca being awesome, not Scorpion being good. Purple Kitty's right here. In this case, hardcast Dranith, and now we gotta pacify the tiger. I think we make him cycle. This doesn't look necessarily like some major cycling deck or anything. Oh yeah, they do have another exile with Luca. I'm not playing around Luca very well, but we're just kind of up against it with Luca. Like, kind of making Luca minus is actually not bad for us. Like, we needed to... And here you go. Like, what did I talk about all day today? Nobody has challenged us with removal. Now that we're being challenged with removal, we are losing. Although, come on, Luca is beating us here. We lost to Luca. And a bomb find with it. So, all right. You guys got to win this week. I think I'm down with Scorpion in a Luca deck, but I hope you have other things to do with it too. I don't know, True. I disagree. True says, to be fair, if Luca was a 5/4 instead, that would be a similar result. We had chumps. We had, I don't know. That our pacifism would work. Like, I think that's really overstating it, that there was kind of no difference there between a random 5/4 and the Planeswalker. Planeswalker changed more than a little. I agree that we were up against it, but the chances we had, plummeted against a Planeswalker versus a random 5/4 or whatever. All right, who's next? We got Nickel. All right. Good work, Jinx. No goose egg for chat today. We have good land, so I'm not going to cycle. We're going to get this stinger out and try to go to work. Brolas is showing some cycling colors on that land. Maybe this is the cycling mirror? Question mark. Sorry, I'm going to go for the hard cast in cycle 1, trying to save you from my slurping. Another stinger. We get to drop that and cycle again, if nothing else. No, Dionysus is telling me that I'm muted, which I appreciate. That being said, Dionysus is always asking to be muted. Ooh, we could... I'm going to take a... I was going to stinger cycle, but let's pacifism cycle. Actually, we can cycle first. Jinx got the no offer win for you, Tron. Understandable slide, but we're gonna try and punish here. I'm gonna go with a mountain to cast Stinger, and I think just cycle the Serpent so that we can hard cast this next turn for possible winnage. Now we just cycle and win unless they take out a Stinger.
All right, everyone, chill.
Looks like that's not good enough, and Evil Cycling deck is going to get there again. All right. Another notch in the cycling belt. That was a fellow streamer. My opponent there, Nicol Brolas. Let's give Nicol a thanks and a follow. Make sure I'm following him, and then we can raid later. How do I... Okay, put it up here. Give me 1 second. I'm going to follow... Let me make sure I'm following Nicol Brolas so I can raid later. Good games, Nicol. All right, will I get my revenge on Draco? All right, we can keep this. Missing some stuff, but I'm not going to throw it back. We got a loot tree on the companion slot. Pretty easy companion. Well, actually, as Luis was saying, seemed easier than it actually is. Often you need dupes of your commons to get the most out of your limited decks, but I'm still keeping. I'm going to cycle the Vantrosaur right away because it's keepable, but we don't have a lot of action. Like, we don't have our payoffs, so we got to cycle 2 payoffs. Draco is my hero! Blue-red plays Scoured Barrens. Alright, well, we're going to make him have dead weight. Yeah, there are other things that kill this besides deadweight, but deadweight's the common, right? Uh-oh. Gotta like that. GG into kill your thing. What a troll. I'm gonna cycle. Oh. Yeah, I'll cycle a will here. Jeez, with the planes. What worthlessness. Alright, we can do that at least. Sorry, we're 5-1 now, right? And this is the last match? Is that right? I don't want to be wrong about it. I just don't want to have the wrong info up. Yeah, alright, we're on last match. Cycling a charge, not very useful right now. Have a feeling this Thundermane is not going to live very long, but we'll throw it out there. We haven't done anything yet. Draco has a full grip and a Lutri. I don't like our chances here. We're down to a handful of cards, and none of them are too relevant, assuming the Lava Serpent is killed. Texting my daughter there. Cub Warden is nice, but we're going to pacify that. And cycle this Claws. Although we could wait and may as well get some life point stuff out of this cycle. Although, yeah, we're also not going to... Yeah, maybe I'll keep it. Because now we can pacify, and we actually have cycle 2 plus activate for their next turn. That seems good. Yeah, we also might want a Claws, hard cast Claws. So now we've got cycle will, deal damage, or use will to save Thundermane from, you know, Fire Prophecy or something. Can we do anything about that? We can't untap it in response or anything. I guess we cycle for a spare 2 points of damage, and I'm going to save the claws for the possible serpent. Not going out without a scratch. Woof. Flooding out a bit much here, and we didn't find a cathartic reunion to help with that. I think this is snap dead. We're looking at 5 total mana, loot tree available. But I gotta cast my stuff, so I'm gonna. I'm expecting a blood curdle here, though, or just something to kill it. But this is why I said back when observing their 7 or their 8 cards versus our 3 or whatever, I just didn't feel like we were in a good spot. And here it is playing out. We're just running out of resources before them, although not did they not kill it. Still could be that rare. Could just or heartless. All right, well, that's a nice sign that at least the Lava Serpent made contact. Kind of expect then maybe like sorcery speed, like Rumbling Rock Slide. We passed a lot of those. So this could be a rock slide situation. The nice thing is we are denying Lutri a 2-for-1 by merely having 1 creature for them to wreck. There you go. I would be surprised, Dionysus, who asks if we think they'll add Dark Ritual to the historic pool. They already added Hypnotic Spectre to the pool, and I think Hypnotic Spectre is a safe add to the historic pool because Dark Ritual is not in the format. I think if you add Dark Ritual, you just add Ritual Hippie, and I don't know if that's what you want for your format. Okay, we can just play the healer, which I suppose we have to do. We need something. We need something on the board. So I'm going to do that. Like, if we had a Zenith Flare, I might just cycle to try and find the Zenith Flare to finish him off, but we don't have a Zenith Flare, so we need some board presence. Well, note that you called it your favorite vintage play, D, and you're talking about historic. That being said, it might not be broken. There's lots of great removal that's very cheap. Still, I don't know if they want that, D. I think you're gonna be out of luck. Glad we held a land. Sometimes I remember to hold lands, and look, it paid off. I guess we have to cycle. We're gonna have a hard time beating Lifelink Menace here. I think this is basically the end state of what I predicted back when it was their 8 cards to our 3, right? When they had 8 cards and we had 3, I'm like, I don't think we're gonna win this. And this is those 8 cards and 3 cards playing out. Five wins is nice, and I get to keep my hair, and I beat chat for the week, but I'm pretty darn annoyed that Draco looks like to take me out twice today. Stinger gives us a double block on Whisperer, at least. I get it, but my point, D, is that Vintage is still... It's a very powerful combo, but you're right. It's not like Ritual Hippie is crushing the Vintage queues on Magic Online or something. Now, for the first time, we've provided 2 targets, and this is where I feel like we're going to get the loot tree blowout, that Draco is going to double up on a removal spell and just end this game. But yeah, we're cycling now because we may find something we want to play. Moloch. Moloch allows us to replay the Rescuer, so I'm going to hold on that as a possible way out of this one. And I am going to offer up the double block. I don't think we can... I can't play... Even though I'm fully expecting Lutri to blow us out with a removal doubling, we have to play like Draco doesn't have that, because that's our best chance at winning. Or not even that it's our best chance. Like, that we can't... I can't really beat Lutri doubling up a removal spell, so I'm going to pretend that he can't do that. And then if it happens, we're like, yeah, we thought that might happen, but we didn't play around it because that meant good game. That meant we can't beat it. Just so. Doesn't even need to Lutri because they still get the 2-for-1 on the on this double block. Magic-wise, I'll tell you what, D, you'll like this. I think I have pretty nearby my like collection of old decks. You want to see my... You can go through my old 90s decks. Now, what hope do we have? Yeah, I think we need to keep the Moloch and replay our other dude and hope we can get wide enough from here. Sometimes you call your own doom and you're sad that you're so right. But I'm gonna call this one unwinnable now. And give Draco the double win on the day. My goodness. I'm glad I got my, I'm glad I won the event, but Draco! I guess now Draco's my nemesis over, who was in my nemesis slot before? Sherlocked? Yeah. Draco's now my nemesis. Came back with a couple of respectable wins there. Good job, chat. Good games, chat. Another fun event for me. I love doing this event. I'm gonna go here and hop to Soapbox. Good game, Draco. You got my number. I'm coming for you next time, though, buddy. Thanks, everybody, for another awesome chat Gauntlet tournament. Good games, chat, and we'll catch you next time, okay? See you, YouTube.